You know what I'm saying? We wasn't like down with these crews.
Backpackers. What's the backpackers?
You know them guys that had on little backpacks on
the little
back
thing?
then.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know, that type of stuff. Traditional hip hop artists or whatever.
Really
that's the traditional hip hop artists.
I guess that's what they called them back then. I was just rapping back then.
I tip my hat to you, Lukata, because reading your book, you were very young when you started out, as well as your crew, and you guys kept at it, and you made something of what you were trying to do. You saw your goal, you took aim, and you executed. So I really have to say much respect, much love, you know. What would you tell anybody, an aspiring artist, someone who would like to write a book? What advice could you give them?
Believe in yourself. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do or what you're not good at, because that's when whatever you're not good at it, you're not good at it then. But as long as you believe,
right.
You must not be good.
Don't let nobody tell you that there's a certain way you're supposed to do stuff.
Right.
There's people out here that can give you advice and stuff like that.
Right.
You listen to them, they helpful advice. But get out here and do what you're gonna do. If you're gonna write a book, get you a bunch of notebooks. Fill those notebooks up with your notes. You know.
Oh no, they don't do that now. They got these phones. They ain't gonna
tell you my age.
I got an old dude tell you my age. I ain't even seen one of these in years.
Right. I can't put them down, but that's what. Yeah, so if you got phones, notebooks, or if your phones, because the new generation, that's what they do. You know, but just write all your notes down. Write your thoughts down. I get people approaching me all the time saying, can you help me write a book? Or I want to write a book. What should I do? Write your. Write everything down, because a lot of people want to write books about what they've been through in their life. Like Pope just was telling us about what he went through and the trauma and things like that. And it's therapeutic, when you write this, tell your story.
I was crying and laughing and doing everything at the same time.
Exactly. And this book's so therapeutic for me. For real. And the thing about it is you have to find a way to get people to understand what you went through and what you've been through in order for them to, in order for you to heal. And when you realize that people finally, when they open up your book, people you thought that would never relate to what you went through, they look in it, they'll talk to you, they'll say, hey, you know what, hey, Pope, man, what you said in your book, they helped me because I went through the same thing, or, I didn't know nobody else went through it.
It make you feel good.
It make you feel good.
Cause you don't be thinking it's gonna be, you be like, but then when you be like, dog, I think that part.
Right.
Exactly. You be like that part, that little insignificant part right there.
But it's significant.
Changed my life.
It's significant to people, that been through it, Right. But a lot of people don't tell nobody what they've been through because they so used to people putting them down. I went through that, my whole life. I went through so many different things, and I'm like, you know what? Let me put this. That was another motivation. Let me put this in the book. Not only am I gonna tell my story, but you immortalize your life and your story in a book. Right. Ain't too many people got a book, So what do you?
It takes true dedication.
Yeah.
So. In your book, if you had somebody, what chapter would you tell them to turn to motherfucker get turned on, lit up? You know what I'm saying? Like, good gracious.
To get what now? What was the question?
Lit up.
To get lit up.
Get lit up.
When you're a reader, readers be like, man, they get, man, they can't wait to turn that page.
You can't really ask the author, like, what do you think the best?
No, I'm talking about.
Yes,
you can. I can tell you about mine.
It's the only hard part about it is I got about 30 chapters in this book. That's the only thing. But I will say what always sticks out in my mind is Detroitology. Okay, and Detroitology.
What you think about Detroitology?
That's the one that you spoke on.
You spoke on that one?
I read the whole entire book.
That's what I said. What do you think about that one? Was that the grabber?
I mean, it was good. good. It was good. I'm not gonna say right now. I can't just off the top of my head say that I have an absolute favorite. Excuse me. Guys.
Favorite chapter. Okay.
Yeah, because I like the book entirely.
Okay.
You know,
so
as a whole, because it took me down a timeline. It made me understand what you were going through. Mm-hmm. I tapped into you as the mind of a writer. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, wow, you know, it took me there. It was like a roller coaster ride, if I may say so.
It was a roller coaster.
Right. That's what I wanted to do.
Hey, you heard that word?
That's what I wanted to do.
Hey, Lukata is on a roller coaster with you.
That's what I wanted to do.
Val, as I told Pokeman Val last night, I read your book within 12 hours. Not within the same day, not in the same day, you know, but when we put that on the time frame, I did read the entire book within 12 hours.
Wow.
In between my schedule of me doing what I have to do as a woman and taking care of things in my life, I'm just like, you know, I'm flipping pages I'm going. I'm walking through the house and I'm like, okay, you know, so it was a page turner for me. And that's why I recommend highly that, you know, our listeners go out and they cop this book. It's an interesting tale. It is. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And let me break this down too, because I was talking to Pokeman Val about this before we just started. I always have a hard time breaking down exactly what my book is about, but I'm gonna say this real fast. The book is about a young man that's a hip hop artist from Detroit in the early 1990s. Who eventually starts a record label, but experiences death and violence and drugs and all those things, the obstacles of the streets that eventually he overcomes. And then there's it's a roller coaster ride that eventually leads to a shocking ending.
Very shocking ending, I can say.
Did I do it? Y'all got me through, man. But
it was a very shocking ending, you guys. So cop this book, Legendary.
Yeah, Detroit mentality.
Exactly.
And the reason it's called Legendary Detroit Mentality because I did have a record label at that time called
Ding,
Legendary.
ding, 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 ding,
Right.
Ding, ding, ding. You know what that noise is? It's topic of the day. Topic of the day.
Topic of the day.
Topic of the day.
Topic of the day.
Val, what's the topic of the day, baby?
We was discussing something about when Motown left Detroit.
Okay.
What was the memento when Motown left Detroit? It's like they left us stinking.
Right.
It was a pop off of what? You know what happened? Why did the music just fall off? Because when I came here from Chicago, everybody was singing, dancing, jitting.
Right.
It was
I was
the
like,
Motown
why is there so many talented people in Detroit?
And then they moved to L.A. They moved to LA.
They moved to LA, but the people were still here. The soul was still here. When I came here, and this was years after he left.
Exactly.
And I was like, man, if I run into another rapper, when we was on the block, we wasn't rapping in Chicago. They doing that just recently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was on security, making things pop it off, who out the band. I come here, y'all. I having a good time. I was like, man, made me want to get in the business. I ain't even gonna lie.
You know what I think? The thing about it is that Detroit at that time when Motown left, and I think Berry Gordy just did what he had to do. Only thing I hate.
What was the money? What was it about the money? You come to
LA.
LA.
It was about that money. I heard that Berry Gordy at that time he was trying to get into Hollywood, get into movies.
Okay.
You know, like that movie.
Cadillac Records.
The Blue.